You're listening to Parasearch Radio, news, views and reviews from the world of the paranormal from across the UK and beyond. Find us on Facebook, Twitter and the World Wide Web. Parasearch UK Radio. Parasearch Radio, broadcasting to the UK and beyond.
The views and opinions expressed by presenters and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of Parasearch Radio or its affiliates and sponsors. Listener discretion is advised.
You're listening to the Supernatural Chat Show with your host, Sean Cadman, only on Parasearch Radio.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Supernatural Chat Show with me, Sean Cadman, your host for the night. This is my first radio broadcast. Been used to being a guest, and now thrown in at the deep end and hosting my own. So off we go. Tonight, our guest is Michael Postlewaite from Ultimate Haunted UK. Great guy. I've met Michael before, been on an investigation with him. Very knowledgeable about what he does, very professional. Are you there, Michael?
I certainly am, Sean. Good evening, and hello, everybody listening. Thank you for that. I've been called a few things in my time, but...
Yeah, I know the feeling. So, just to start us off then, Michael, if you just tell our listeners a little bit about yourself, and we'll go from there.
Okay, well... Everyday going guy. The thing that got me into the paranormal, basically, I was about 12 years old, and I used to be into skating and roller hockey and things like that. So I'd gone to the skating rink, and then my sisters wanted to go out for a drink, so I'd come home early to babysit. Saying early, it was about 10 o'clock at night, to be fair. It was, as John Blackburn would explain, it was like a movie set. The moon was out, there was mist coming up from the field that we was walking back from the skating rink. I was with my mother at the time, and the moon was behind us. Now, as we was walking across the field, there was no one else around, but then we noticed this, well, what we thought was a gentleman walking towards us. Looked like he had a black coat on, well, dressed in black. As he was walking towards us, we didn't think anything of it. But as he came to pass by us, as you do when you're in a dark place, walking across the field, and someone walks close to you, you look to the face to see if you can see the face. To my surprise, all I could see basically was darkness. There was like just a pit of darkness, Sean. Oh. Now, my mum must have seen exactly the same thing, because we took 2 steps past what we thought was the gentleman, and we both turned round. We both turned round to look behind us to have another glance at this gentleman, and he totally disappeared. Now, this was like 2 steps after the apparition had passed by us. We thought it was a gentleman. It was 2 feet. 2 feet more that we'd walked. Now, he couldn't have ran off and hid anywhere, because it was an open field called Edgerton Park, school where I used to go. So he couldn't have ran off. He couldn't have hid anywhere. He couldn't have gone into I say that a human being couldn't have gone into the floor. But cut the long story short, he disappeared. So that's what basically got me into things. There was a number of things which happened at home over the years. It seemed to be after my granddad had passed. On the side of the fridge downstairs, we used to have help that was written into the condensation on the side of the fridge downstairs. the room where my granddad used to stay. There was a lot of things which happened in there, like bangs and stuff. Now, when I was younger, I think a lot of excuses was made as to what was going on. But I sort of knew that, this could be ghostly activity because my mother was into this. I've been to spiritualist churches with her previously, etc., etc., etc. And through all this, which had happened being younger and experiencing some activity, that's what sort of got me on this path at the beginning. But years and years passed. I was into it. I'd watched all your normal TV programs. I'm going to admit this one now. Your Most Haunted and things.
Well, we've all watched it.
Yeah, we have. They started out on a great path, going the right way. I'm going to end any more conversations about that. So yeah. That sort of stuff, it got us on the path. And then a good couple of years afterwards, I was into making documentaries and music videos and things like that. And I got friendly with a gentleman called Stephen John Roberts, who's a great guy, a great cameraman, and he's actually a good friend of mine. And he was involved with a gentleman called Patrick Jackson. And there was a project coming up to go to number 30 East Drive and to try and document activity that was going on in the place, but give an alternate theory as to why this activity was going on. Now, I've signed disclosure forms and things over that project, so I can't really go too much into it. But being there, filming that documentary, we was there from like the late Sunday night till the early hours of Friday morning. Now, while we was there was a number of things which happened, and these was documented. I was filming all the time, and I had a microphone in every single room of the house, including the coal sheds and the toilets. So if you know East Drive, the way it's set up, basically, I had a mixer board in the kitchen, on the kitchen side. Now, in the living room in front of us, there was 10 people from the East Drive Paranormal team who was investigating at the time. And I was in the kitchen manning this mixer board. Now, while everyone was investigating in the kitchen, there was an almighty banging that came from straight behind me. Now, it sounded something like this, Sean. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
To my dismay, I dived up, I ran straight to the front door. I opened the front door and I ran all around the property to see if someone was banging on the door. I even proceeded to go round looking for loose bricks to see if anyone could have put a big, say a massive stick through a hole somewhere, banging. Basically, it was an energy within the coal shed which was hammering on the door. I had a microphone inside of the coal shed. Now, if you're into audio recording, I had a multi-track recording software running at the time. Now, every other microphone had just very, very little wave lines on them. But in the coal shed where this microphone was, the actual wave file indicated to me that the noise was created from inside of the coal shed. Wow. So I have that recorded, and that's available for everyone to listen to if they want to go over to the site and have a listen. And like I say, it was witnessed by about 10 people. Now, this actually happened again 2 days later, but we were filming B-roll for the documentary. Now, spirit normally does things when you're not paying them attention.
Yep.
So we're there filming B-roll. I mean, we was doing certain things, and the same banging happened again. Now, for another number of things which happened in that property over that week, that's what made me and Steve start talking. And then I got the idea to start this Ultimate Haunted UK, which we're doing nowadays. So that's sort of, how can you put it? It sounds long-winded, but I have actually watered down really what put us on the path to where we are now. So
going back, when you saw that apparition, that must have been a bit of a shock at the age of 12.
Oh, it certainly was. But to be honest, because I'd actually been to Spiritualist Church earlier, there was a few things that happened. And just round the corner from us was one of Britain's most haunted houses, which one of my mum's friends used to live in. And because she would spend time round there. I'd go round to this property and I'd experience things. And the more you experience, the more thick-skinned you get to it.
Yeah.
So, we were in shock, but it was more amazement, really. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to mention any names. There was actually someone who lost a life in Edgerton Park. It was a horrible accident, and he ended up falling through the roof. And ever since that happened, there was reports of activity, and that someone was seen, walking across the field. Now, could that have been what we seen? But yeah, I was shocked, but I wasn't. My mum was with. Yeah. We had a talk. We just carried on walking, and then time passes. But that was the very first experience where I can say, listen, Sean, they couldn't have ran off. They could, after taking two steps past a person, there's no way they could have ran off, hid behind something, because there was nothing there for them to hide behind. So, it's pointing more and more to saying it was a paranormal experience, which was...
I mean, they're the sort of moments that we do what we do to get.
Exactly.
So, I mean, going back to East Drive, we've all heard all the rumours about it being a fake set-up place, a money-making venture and everything else. Mm-hmm. So you'd say from your experiences there that it is genuinely having supernatural, haunted events happening there?
I've got to say, without a doubt, whilst we was there was no way on earth anything was rigged. The three of us who was there, I shouldn't admit this, but we're going to do. We didn't rip the house apart, but we checked everything that we could. I'm into movie production and photography and sound and things like that. So we was looking for hidden Bluetooth speakers in certain areas. We was looking for radio transmitters in dolls. Sean, we was looking for a lot of stuff to indicate that there was foul play going on. We couldn't find nothing, mate. Nothing. And with other things that happened in there, I can generally say that, in my opinion, at the time I was there, it was definitely 100% active, and it wasn't made up.
That's good. It's good when you can go somewhere like that and you can get that confirmation that it is haunted, no matter what everybody else is saying across social media, etc. That you know in yourself that place is active.
Yeah, well, we have had a bit of an hard time with it, because of obviously working at De Grey Street, and we do pick places where people say, "Oh no, that's not right. Nothing's going on there." Yeah, and we actually want to go. We'd sooner get up and go to a location, do the work ourselves, and try and get the evidence ourselves sooner than sit back, read what everybody else says, and become a keyboard warrior. Yeah. Go and do it, Sean. It's too easy to read about a place, pass judgment on it, when it could have been just one of those nights where, well, let's say, Spirit wanted a night off. Let's just be nice about it. You know what I mean? So,
you can never guarantee activity at the end of the day.
I've been slaughtered for saying this so many times. It's not bingo, It's I'm going to have a winner there every single night. We've gone places, Sean, and in De Grey Street, we sat there for 2 days and we didn't get a peeper. Nothing. And then all of a sudden, we started feeding happy energy into the place and trying to put the energy in, and we were getting the responses. Now, that place was slated. Oh, nothing's going on there. It's all fake. It's all a money earner, a money maker. So we went and stayed there for, like I say, a full week, night and days, did the investigations, and got some great evidence again, which was all documented. It's all on camera. It's all there for everyone to watch and pass their own judgment. But all I can say is, again, referring back to East Drive, Sean, while we were there, mate, there was fantastic things. That hammering on the coal shed, honestly, I scratched my head for weeks and weeks. We even went back up to the property without people knowing, as I said, checking bricks. All right.
Yeah, we've never done East Drive ourselves. I think it's one of them that's on the list to do, definitely.
If you can do it, Sean. Like I said, we went from Sunday night till early Friday morning. I went back with another team called Paranormal Activities. Had a great night with them. Went back with John. Oh, flip it out. We had amazing nights there. That's amazing.
Yeah, we've done De Grey Street. We'd seen all the rumours and the reports and everything else. We thought we'll give it a go. We went to De Grey Street, and some of the activity that we got there was incredible. The big bedroom upstairs on the front, it's like a big dining table in there.
Yeah.
What it's doing in the bedroom, I don't know, but that big dining table was Sat around that, there was just me, my daughter, and Simon, one of our team members, just chatting. And also the table, without any of us being anywhere near it, juddered. It rocked. There was a glass on top. You heard the glass shake and move across the table.
Oh, yes, I know that room very, very well.
So we thought, is this something travelling past? Was it somebody, vibrations from the other room? So we asked, without touching it again, we says, if that was a spirit, will you do it again? And it nearly tipped over. It lifted that high one end, it nearly tipped over. Yeah. And for nearly an hour, we had a conversation going with this table, answering us.
Exactly. When we spent some time there with the Enigma experiment, we did some, people don't like table tipping, to be honest.
No, I'm not a fan.
Too many people can push it, this, that and the other. But at the time when the table tipping were going on, I'm one of these, I like to look in places where people wouldn't expect you to look.
Yeah.
I was watching under the table. I was watching people's hands. I was zooming in on things, like you do, checking it out. And we had similar experiences where the glass on the top started to spin. The table was rocking. Now, there was people, conducting the table tipping experiment. So pass judgment, whichever way you work you want to.
Yeah.
Very, very close to it. And we were getting reactions. Now, that room that you're talking about, Sean, it's a hot in that room. When me and Oscar spent the time there, we was doing thermometer tests on the wall. I actually learnt this test off John Blackburn. It's where, the laser thermometer.
Yeah.
You aim it at something, you call out your spirit, and you ask spirit basically to lower the temperature or take the temperature up, which some people don't actually ask for them to take it back up.
Yeah.
We had temperature drops of like 11 degrees very quickly. Whilst we was actually using the laser thermometer, and I put my hand on my heart and I would tell you this is the God's honest truth. I was doing the experiment where I was asking spirit to lower the temperature with the laser thermometer. And as I'm holding the thermometer, basically what I felt was something hit my hand. It hit me, Sean. Now, on the video, you can see my hand go. Now, the gentleman who I was with at the time, called Oscar, who works closely, straight away, I was very shocked, actually. And you'll see me in the video. I jump up, I say, listen, Oscar, you need to have a go at this, mate. You need to have a go. And he looked at me as if, oh, yeah, you know what I mean? He didn't expect what was going to happen. Now, something hit him on the hand. It grabbed his arm to the point where, after he left the room, I had a hidden GoPro, which was at the bottom of the stairs. The stairs leading up into the loft?
Yeah.
I had a hidden GoPro in there. And as Oscar was walking out of the room, you could physically see him holding his arm because he was in pain. That whatever at the time, it had hold of his arm and it was squeezing his hand.
Yeah.
So, to feel being slapped in that room on your hand, and then, I mean, Oscar, he's not a small guy, he's not a soft guy either. It hurt him. It hurt him. So the power in that room, what you've experienced with the table and myself with the table, because we spent, so long there, we could sort of build that relationship more.
Yeah. And
it got quite physical. So now that's hand on my heart. That's the God's honest truth. That's all I can say about it.
Yeah, I mean, that room was, because we'd heard the story. The guy that owns the house had told us the story about somebody seeing a girl standing at the window in that bedroom. I think it was the police.
Yeah, Yates. I've actually got some one-on-one interviews with Andrew Yates over on the UX UK page where he goes through all that. So you're right. Yeah. Sorry for talking over there.
When the table was moving, we asking questions, normal little movements and everything, and then we says, I bet it was you that scared the coppers that were outside, and it shook almost like the table were laughing. And none of us were touching the table. It's just moving on its own, bouncing around the room, perfectly answering questions. Yeah. Even a woman that was with us called Mandy, she's a medium, and she'd been upstairs, and she picked this girl up in this room, told us about it while we were having a coffee, and we says to the table, so to speak, to spirit, which is, can you tell us the first initial of the lady that you was talking to earlier on? And we started A, B. As soon as we got to M, the table about leapt off the floor.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't dispute that.
Exactly. We did a similar alphabet test up in the loft. And we got some responses, on certain letters and things like that. But like you're saying, that room there, in my opinion, it's a very, very exceedingly active room.
Yeah.
One other room which I think beats that room, and that's what I call the mirror room. If you walk upstairs, turn left. You don't go through the door on the right-hand side, which leaves you over to the highly haunted mortuary. The storage building at the back. Let's not start about history. Everyone will be going mad. It's the room in front of you. As you get to the top of the stairs and you look in, and you'll see all the mirrors in that room.
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
I call that the mirror room. Yeah. Now, I can tell you about an experience which we had in there, which involved a reporter, if that's okay.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so I decided to do some scrying. I got quite cocky after working with John, seeing some of the things that he decided to try some things out myself. So there was myself in there, there was Oscar, and there was a lady from the Hull Daily Mail. I'm not going to say her name just in case of any problems. Yeah. But basically, I started to do some scrying in the mirror. It took about 20 minutes, and after gazing into the mirror, all of a sudden it seemed that the mirror started to shake. Now, whether this was just my eyes or, but it looked like the mirror was shaking, and I felt very, very strange, to be honest. Now, as that was happening, the reporter lady behind me, she just basically said, "Listen, I feel sick. I've got to get out of here." And this is all on camera again. You can watch this on the episode. This is through the private lock-in videos. Basically, the reporter had to get out of that room there and then because she was going to vomit. She went downstairs. She still felt very, very, very bad. She had to leave the building in the end. But in that mirror room, that's where it all sort of triggered. It affected the reporter. It affected myself. Oscar felt strange, and for me, that room, there's an energy in that room which I think one of the dark energies. That's where it sort of lives.
Yeah.
With my findings, I'm sure that energy moves backwards and forwards from the big building at the back, which people know it as the mortuary building. It moves backwards and forwards from there. As in other properties, the spirit needs the energy. So because it's actually a garage as well in that big building behind De Grey Street, when the house isn't, there's no one in the house, the energy moves across and gets energies from the garage and people in the garage. And then when people are in the property, it comes back across into that room. Now, when that energy returns back into De Grey Street, there's other spirits in there as well, reported spirits of children that I've heard from multiple mediums in there. Whenever that energy returns, Sean, they seem to hide. They disappear. Their energies, but they hide basically from this dark energy that comes across. So,
what's your thoughts on the objects that people have bought? I mean, there's dolls all over the place that people have left there and bits and bobs. What's your thoughts on the things that people have bought in and left there, the energies have come with them and are now resided in De Grey Street?
Okay, right. So if anyone's watched something called Ghost Dimensions at this moment in time, they've been working at a place called Movie Escapes. Now, that place is located in Bredbury, Stockport, close by to me, and they've got another branch which is in Ashton. Now, at the place in Bredbury, they've actually got the Enfield Haunting radio there and the rocking chair from in the corner of the room. They've also got a Bible, which is, I could be corrected on this one, I think it's something to do with the Amityville case. Yeah. Now, they've brought all these haunted items and put all these items together in one haunted room set. They do not know now what is paranormal activity and what is being rigged in there. My view is the same as what they've said. If you get these items that have got that energy connected to it and put these into a location, it creates activity there. It does create activity there. So, yeah, my view is I agree with you on that one. The energies can move around.
Yeah, so when we did there's that many objects lying around the place. Part of our thinking was these things have been brought in here and the energies have come in with them that are now interacting with the actual energies that reside there anyway.
Yeah, I think some of those dolls were actually found behind a false wall along with some pictures. It's been a while since but I'm sure a few of them are found. Like I say, in the downstairs the room just before the kitchen, which would be a living room type of thing. There's some pictures on the wall of young children and things like that. Then pictures were actually found behind a fake wall, a false wall, according to Andy and a few others in there. And I'm sure a few of those dolls were found there as well. But there has been things that have been brought in there. So who knows whether something, has been brought into the house, which has made it even more active. But I feel, that, and after meeting Andrew a few times, I don't think he really needs to lie about, things that have happened in there. So I think there was something there to start with. And I think if other people have brought other things in there, and they've been doing seances, not closing down Ouija boards, not closing things down properly, that's why we've got what's going on now.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely confirm that place is active, and if there's anybody listening that's ever thought, oh, I don't know, it's worth a visit. Definitely worth a visit to go there, because I'd say you're pretty much sure you're going to get something while you're there.
Yeah, exactly. I did the same again, Sean. We spent that week. I went back with John's team. I went back with Stephen Walker's Paranormal Activities team with a medium called Michelle Lee from the ISOS Spirit Rescue team. I've been there a few times with different people, and then the things that the mediums were telling us, because I'd been there with one medium, they were backing up with another medium. Now, they weren't in the same building, they weren't in cahoot with each other, but similar stories were coming from different mediums when we were there. Now, to me, that's gold dust. For to have a story collaborated by another medium, which isn't even a part of that group, and they've been brought in, with another team. So, no, it's great location, mate. Great location.
Definitely has to it. Earlier on, you mentioned obviously watching a certain TV program, Most Haunted. What's your general thoughts on these TV programs now? Not just Most Haunted, all of them, all the different ones. Do you think they're good for the paranormal, or do you think they're bad for the paranormal?
It's a hard one, isn't it, to say that. They're bringing awareness for the paranormal. They're making people sit up and watch the paranormal, but some of the time, is it paranormal what we're watching? When you're, how can you put this? I'll put it this way. When you're there for a TV company, should I say, if nothing happens in there and you're on a budget, you've got to make your program interesting, or people stop watching that program. Yeah. Then the budget stops coming through to you, and the lifestyle which you've been left, how can you put it? The lifestyle which you're leading can drastically change. Now, I think it's a good thing for beginners and starter people, but they shouldn't be, saying basically, oh, well, I've seen it on Most Haunted, I've seen it on Ghost Adventure, I've seen it on this, that, and the other, so that's true.
Yeah.
I'd say a stepping stone. I think it's great what they're doing for the paranormal. That's off to them. They're making people sit up and watch, because you've got to admit this. If we tried having these conversations about 10 years ago, we'd probably be locked up and put in straitjackets.
That's true.
So because these great people are doing this, because they love what they're doing, they really do love what they're doing. And right at the beginning, Sean, they were just like everybody else, mate. Mm-hmm. They were doing what they could, as honest as they could. The word. Yeah. So I believe it's great. It is great what they're doing. But then when you've seen stuff like that, try and branch out. Go onto YouTube, go onto other channels. Look for other forms of evidence, and what other people are doing. So it's a great thing what they're doing.
So you always hear this argument of it's for entertainment purposes only, blah blah blah. But you always hear this, they're always faking it. They're always doing this. They're always doing the other. But at the end of the day, that's how they earn their living. Do you think? Would you agree that that's probably an excuse? That's their living. They're told by the production companies this has got to happen. If they've spent 12 hours in a location and nothing's happened, they have to do an extra little bit of film where something happens.
I totally do believe this. I totally do believe this. There's many a medium who've been on a show. I'm not even going to mention the medium's names, and some of their careers have been ruined now because they've been on a budget, they've got used to a lifestyle, they've been to these properties, like what I've said before, we spent 2 days in places and got nothing. But when there's a big budget behind it and it's going on to national television, are you going to sit there and, I've been told that my show is boring. Nothing ever happens. It's because it's real, Sean.
Yeah, this has been my argument a lot of the time. Generally, if an hour programme was on really TV, to just pluck a channel from thin air, of a true paranormal investigation, would people watch it?
Exactly. So, that's why I'm saying it. It is really, really great what they're doing. They're making people sit up, and it's bringing paranormal awareness to places that it wouldn't get there. And then once you've watched it for a while and you want to, like you put it, get into it yourself, just have a look around, have a look at other teams, real ghost night investigations. Now, I'm not saying that everything you see on them programs is fake, but as you've just said, and what I said earlier on, when you're on a budget, when you're working for a TV company, you've got to make what you're producing entertaining and enjoyable to watch. So I'm gonna leave that to the people to draw their own judgment on that one.
Yeah, definitely. Right, you mentioned, obviously, you worked with John Blackburn for around about a year. What was your best experiences during that time you worked with John?
Oh, wow. Oh, where do I start? Do I start at Transfiguration or do I start at Transmigration? Greatest experience. Everyone with John. The guy is, I'm going to say he could be a legend in his own right. We went to so many different places. Every night was fantastic. One of my highlights with John was when we went to the Ancient Ramin and he was doing some transfiguration down there. I'd seen him doing it a few times at other different locations, but this night in particular at the Ancient Ramin, it was unbelievable, the way his face changed, the way certain body features, the way he held himself. That transfiguration for me was absolutely amazing. You can't fake them things. No. You can't. So, yeah, that night at the Ramin, it was up there with one of the best, but there's been so much that's happened with John that, I'm probably missing out some other amazing things like tables flying up, stereos being thrown down the stairs at a place in Hartlepool called Cook's Corner, people on stage at Matlock Bath channeling with John and being taken over. If anyone's listening now and they want to go out on a great ghost night, put yourselves out with the Enigma Experiment. Simple as.
I can back that up.
It is. Each night that I went out with John, I've got to say, it was amazing. I'm getting goose pimples now thinking of him.
Yeah, he's definitely unique. I'd say that he's definitely unique.
It's the way he works. John does mix old school with new. So a lot of the time when I was out with them, I was using Kinects, your thermal cameras, your REM pods, all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
John, he'd basically say, right, I'm feeling the energy over there. He'd use the old school technique and then we'd collaborate and basically, how can you say, we proved that what he was saying was going on in a certain area by them putting our physical equipment there, so it's fantastic. It's fantastic working with him. I have tried to make a few notes, but that much that's happened, mate, that much. There's the Pentamento experiment that's going on with John now. You guys really, really need to look at that. This is to do with the migration of energies from one thing to another, spirit attachments. He does a great thing called the conduction rope experiment, which I love. It's a copper rope. Everyone holds on to it, and John asks spirit to manipulate the rope using the energy. I don't want to give too much away, obviously.
I can remember he did that at the Galleries of Justice.
Exactly.
On the night there. Yeah, that was very interesting.
So with everybody's energy building up and being passed through this rope, I wasn't there on this night, but someone actually was holding the rope, and the rope went that high that this person didn't let go, and they were dangling from the rope.
Wow.
Now, it's all the energies, where the collective energies, where people are, holding this rope. It's like holding hands in a way, but you're using a copper conductor. John's another big believer. He loves copper, so they use this rope. And, yeah, another great experience I had with John there. So
A quick question for you from the chat room from Kaz Rooney. Says,
Hello, Kaz. Nice to hello.
Have you ever caught any team faking stuff?
Have I ever caught any team faking stuff? I've caught a few things where some people said that they tested us and this, that, and the other. But I'll keep it. I haven't caught them really, trying to really say, listen, this is real bad, paranormal activity. I've caught the odd few things, but I'm not naming and shaming anyone. Things happen, and you live and learn.
Nice
question, Kaz.
I'll throw one in the mix there. We were on a night with, again, I won't name any names or name and shame, but we was on a night with a guy. He's very well known in the paranormal world. We'd gone into this room, but unbeknown to him, I'd put a camcorder down on the table in this room before we'd all gone in. Yeah. Pitch black in this room. Everybody's asking out. All of a sudden, there was a bang and a clatter. Everybody screams and jumps. I was like, a couple of seconds later, same again, a different part of the room. Okay. All in all, it was a good night. I really enjoyed it. Day after, going through the footage, and there we are on the footage. The person in question was stood at the back of the room behind everybody's shoulders, flicking 2p pieces around the room.
Oh no!
So we haven't worked with this person. I'm not going to name and shame, but we haven't worked with them since. And
yeah, it's just the next of it, Sean. Yeah. Yourself, cameras don't lie, and sometimes people think that the cameras can't see them, but the camera and night vision nowadays, it sees all. So yeah, there's been a couple of things I've seen, and I've gone, okay, I'll keep an eye out for this in the future, and it helps us learn as well. Because it's a big learning curve, mate. Big learning curve.
It is. It's knowing who you can trust, who you can work with, and who you can trust. And exactly. To me, there's nothing wrong with putting a little GoPro or night vision camera somewhere in a room and leaving it.
Exactly.
Especially when you're working with people you don't know.
Yeah, well, like I say, I did this integration with Oscar, and I know Oscar is 100% like me. That's why he works with me. And I wouldn't have caught that footage showing him holding his arm and rubbing his arm after he left the room. There was no reason for Oscar to do that. He didn't know the camera was there. He'd left the room altogether, and he's rubbing his arm, the poor bugger, because he was sore because of what had happened. Now, if I wouldn't have hid that GoPro there, I wouldn't have captured that. So you're right. Get what you can and get everything filmed. Totally right.
Definitely. So what you got planned for the future?
Oh, plans for the future. Yes. Right, here we go. We've got a couple of events coming up with Ultimate Haunted UK. We're going to go over to Sutton Manor with East Drive Paranormal. We're over at RAF Binbrook, it is, Lincolnshire. That's with True Paranormal Investigations. We're going over to the Ancient Ramming with East Anglian Paranormal Investigations. We've got some other locations coming up, and more locations coming through for Ultimate Haunted. Now, off this, I'm doing another special little show which is called Local Legends. Now, this is all about the local places in Manchester where, say a family would go for a day out on a nice sunny day, and they'd sit there having a picnic, and it was beautiful. But they don't realise that the land that they were sitting on has basically got a twisted and scarred past. And it's a highly haunted area. So it's all about places like that where you don't have to spend £300 or £400 a night to investigate a property which people have said is haunted. These are haunted locations that have had battles fought on them. There's been people murdered there, which people, they don't sing from the rooftops about it, but the information is there if you look for it. So it's covering things like that.
That's brilliant. I mean, do you think these places? There's a lot of places out there, obviously, that charge a lot of money. They've got their overheads to cover, etc. But do you think that people are forgetting about these free places where you can just go, get your equipment out, and do a good old-fashioned ghost hunt?
I'll tell you something now, Sean. There's a place not 15 minutes away from me called Apethorn Lane in Hyde. If you used to do the research on it there was a guy called Thomas Ashton. He was murdered with a blunderbuss. And ever since that happens, there's been reports of whistling, a black figure walking across the bridge. I actually took John down to that area with me, and he confirmed just how active it was. Yeah. Now, when you say that about people having to pay to go to investigations and forgetting these free places, Apethorn Lane's Tame Valley. You don't pay anything to go there.
Yeah.
So, yes, there are locations out there. I'm not saying they're better. I'm not going to judge them. I'm just saying that if you look, you don't have to spend hundreds and hundreds of pounds to find a location to investigate. They're on your doorstep.
Yeah. I mean, we've got a place near us, Grace Dew Priory. It's an old priory, dates back years. It's just some ruins at the moment. Absolutely fantastic place. We've been there no end. It's some of the best footage and best nights we've had are there. And you just park up in the pub car park, a 10-minute walk, and you're there. And I think people have lost the art of looking for these places.
I totally agree with you there, Sean. I mean, I have got to say with my hand on my heart, I have actually got on film. There was two of us. We was walking over the old ruins of an old workhouse. And as I've looked over into the trees, the footage is there. If anyone wants to see this footage, they can message me, or I'll check out Local Legends from Apesthorn Lane. I was filming. I looked around with the camera, and there's a figure. It's the outline, a figure of a person that turns round and looks at us and then disappears on the camera. Now, I have not physically on camera had highly paid locations up to now a full, as I could say, an apparition on camera like that. Apart from what I believe, we did catch a shadow being in De Grey Street. We had a lot of arguments about that with people saying it was reflections and it was the div cameraman's shadow. We controlled that night. We made sure that everyone stayed put. People didn't move.
Yeah.
And what we captured, I believe that was a shadow object. But going back to the Apesthorn Lane, this apparition that I've got, it's so clear. I've had people look at it and they've gone, I've got no explanation for that. We think that what you have captured there it's paranormal. It's an apparition. Yeah. So I didn't pay £300 for that. I paid a little bit in say trainer cost, the wear on my trainers going off to get to this place where I actually captured that activity. So take it as you want to take it. That's what I say to that.
Yeah, I love the free places.
I agree.
The one for do you think that some people, especially, I'm going back a few years now, and people used to always post stuff on Facebook. They'd go out, they'd do an investigation, they'd capture something that they think was paranormal, post it on Facebook, and get ripped apart. Nowadays, very rare that you see any footage posted on Facebook. Do you think that's because there's too many people ripping people's evidence apart with strange explanations as to what it is?
Thank you for asking me that one, Sean. When we went and spent the time in De Grey Street, I have got 40 pages of documented stuff where we've done baseline tests, this, that, and the other. We captured things, and for a few months, I was actually scared of putting this evidence out. Yeah. Because the property was under that much scrutiny, and there were certain people at the time saying, oh, it's a load of fake, it's a load of this, that, and the other. It actually made me put my evidence on the shelf for a while. And I shouldn't have ever done that because I know that what I captured was real.
Yeah.
So the answer to that one, mate, is, if you can debunk something and help someone, fair enough, do that. Please do that. It's like, let's not even talk about orbs. Oh, my word. With being a photographer and everything else, I've had so many odd pictures sent in, and I'll say, listen, I'm trying to tell you here that you're using a long exposure here with a flash, and it's going to make that effect of, an orb coming past, and digital cameras nowadays. And it does scare people to put out the evidence if they rip into them. We're all doing this for, as people would say, para-unity. To help each other out, to put this evidence out, to make people believe who'd normally be locking us up.
Yeah.
Then you've got other investigators out there who think they're above you. They've been in the field a lot longer. What they say goes. And sometimes either your face doesn't fit. And they do. They can rip into you, and they can make you put good evidence aside because you're scared of sharing it. Or you just think to yourself, do you know what? Why share this just to be ripped apart? And then you think, well, I did all this. Why should I keep this away from people who believe? So you do put it out then, like I did. It took a few months for us to put these two episodes out of the locking from Ultimate Haunted from De Grey Street, because of that many people saying, oh, the history's wrong, it's a load of bull, all a load of codswallop. I expected for people just to laugh at everything. And at the end, I thought, do you know what? If you think this is fake, jog on. Close the door on the way behind you. You don't have to watch it.
Exactly.
So anyone listening now, if they ever feel like I felt, scared of putting things out because you think you're going to be bullied for it, do what you was told to do at school. Stand up to the bullies, put the stuff out there. You know what I mean? Give it them back. Give it them back.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to think that somewhere out there somebody's got the ultimate piece of footage, but they're frightened to put it out because of ridicule and people taking the mickey, saying, this, and it's rubbish and it's all this. It's like you say, if you've got something, if you're confident in it, stick it on there. Why does it matter what other people think?
Exactly. Now, the actual footage which I'm talking about there is what I explained to you earlier when my hand were being slapped and Oscar was having his hand squeezed. There was a number of things that happened in De Grey Street. We had things running across the metal stairs outside. They were running across the landing. We went into the middle room and we had a number of K2 meters, PIR sensors. We had about five PIRs and I think 3 K2s. And we were getting sweeps from left to right, and this is amazing stuff. And we just thought that people were going to turn around and say, Mike, you're a production company. You faked it all. Believe me, Sean, if I wanted to fake something, mate, I could do it. I really, really could do it. I was sale. But who are we going to fool at the end of the day? We're going to fool ourselves, mate.
Precisely.
What's the point?
Definitely. Right, let's have a think of it. Any place in the world that you could investigate, where would you go?
Actually, I'm trying to get this together. It's got to be the Winchester Mystery House. I don't know why. There's two. Like I said, I love the Winchester House, and I do like the Amityville property. Now, that's because I'm just fascinated with them. I want to go over myself and get the feel for them places myself, not read from what's coming over from the States about it and this, that and the other. You know yourself when you walk into a property, you, as a human, you've got feelings. Now, as you carry on working in the spiritual work, you develop your feelings. So at first I could walk into somewhere, say like East Drive, and I couldn't really feel much at all. But now, after working years and years and knowing that feeling that you get when there is activity there, I'd love to go and feel these places for myself. Winchester House, top of my list. Winchester, Amityville. And I know the big commercial things then, but that's just where I want to get to and go and try them.
I think mine would be Halbachu Forest at Romania.
Oh, yes.
I'd love to get in there.
Also, the Suicide Forest,
yes,
Japan. Paul's just had a load of grief with over what he filmed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do agree. Yeah, the forest you just mentioned, the Suicide Forest. Yeah, the Winchester House just popped into my mind then because I'm fascinated with the place. What she did there, stairways leading into nothing, doorways opening up from nowhere. I mean, this house was created to confuse the spirits of the people of the guns that her husband, Mr. Winchester made the rifles. So she tried to talk with a spiritualist that said she had to create this house to make the spirits feel at home and confuse them. This place was designed for spirit.
Can't go wrong, can you, with that
one? What more do I need to say on that one?
Sarah Coulthard Kane has put Porveglia Island.
Oh, yes. Big shout, Sarah. Sarah's a really, really good friend of mine. She's a fantastic lass. Just started working with East Anglian Paranormal Investigations with Sharon. So
yeah, the good team, East Anglia. I've done quite a few bits with them. Shout out to them as well. Good team, Gary and Sharon.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to going to the RAM with them there, get it documented, and get a video out with them. That's what we're about, mate. We want to go out and show people true paranormal nights, whether it be ghost hunting investigations with big teams or private investigations like what I've been involved with, spirit clearances, which I was involved with ISOS, with Michelle Lee. These things don't. You do see big, exorcisms on Ghost Adventures and things like that, but I want to show people the real stuff, not the normal TV stuff. I want you to be able to see all these different teams that are operating in England. Watch these videos and think to yourself, do you know what? I like this team. And you've got something to see there to make a judgment, because there's been a lot of people I know who've said, I've gone out on a ghost night with such and such a team. I'll never go back out on that again. I wish I would have known they were like that. Now, these videos give people who want to go out on these ghost nights, it gives them a chance to look at what teams are best for them as well.
Yeah.
So it actually helps everybody. You know, it helps.
But there's that many teams out there now, different event companies and teams, that there's something to suit everybody.
Yes. But if we get a hub here, like there was a big, oh God, do I open this can of worms where there was a company recently that, how can you put this? A lot of people got ripped off.
Yeah.
I'm not going to start mentioning the names and things like that. But, you know, if we spend a bit of time with all these different groups and people can draw their own judgment and feel how people are, if they're genuine or whether they're just fakes out to take your money and make a night, you know, I believe these videos could help in time. At the moment, we're not that big where we've been with every single team going, and we probably never will get that big. But I wish we could, you know, get people to get involved, and we can make this hub.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody isn't looking at going out with a team, do your research. Do some research. Make sure that they're a reputable team.
Exactly.
Because sadly, there is people out there who are just out to rip people off, and it ruins the field for everybody. So if you're looking at going on an event, do your research on the team.
Exactly. And hopefully in time, you know, we'll have worked with enough teams or enough of the main teams for people to see these teams and think, yeah, okay, and why are these people on this show? They must be a decent team. You know, I don't really want to start working with people who I know in 6 months' time would be ripping people off. We're in the wrong game if we're doing things like that. So we need to show these people the good, reputable teams. That's why I stuck with John so close for so long. That guy, you know, he's very honest. And with the other teams who I've worked with. So, yeah.
Definitely. Well, we've got about 8 minutes left. So, I mean, working with these teams, would you perhaps look at doing something like building a portfolio up of teams to recommend to people? Is that something you'd look at doing, or is it just a case of put the videos out and let people watch them?
That's how we have been operating up to now, putting the videos, let them watch them and let them get their own, you know, draw their own conclusions. But that's a very good idea, that, Sean. I could actually, you know, do, right, here's our recommended teams, who we've worked with, who we've seen have worked with other teams that have been around for so long, and this is who we recommend. It's a very good idea. That is something we could work towards.
Well, coming up with good ideas, mate.
Hey, am I on the show next week? You can give me more ideas.
Yeah, we'll keep bashing ideas out every week.
Yeah, so, aye.
Right, I think personally, there's a lot of negativity in the paranormal field these days. There's a lot of people arguing, falling out, etc. Yeah. And I think people need to just chill.
Do you know what? I love that. Yes, definitely. Chill out, do your own thing, keep it real, and, you know, don't point the finger at others. Does that, because the way it looks as though you've got nothing happening yourself. If you're always pointing the finger at other people, you've actually got time to pick into other people's stuff. Well, you should be busy with your own investigations and doing the legwork.
Exactly. So I'll just give a shout out as well after we've finished tonight at 9 p.m. If listeners keep refreshing your page, and you will have Penny Morgan on with Haunted Histories, and she'll be talking about Halsam with the owner Ben. So once we've finished, you just keep refreshing your page, give Penny a listen, be a fantastic show. That's at 9 p.m. after we've done. So, I mean, it's been great chatting with you, Mike. Absolutely brilliant.
Same to you, mate. Well, you know, when I met you at the galleries.
Yes.
Decent dude. So thank you. Thank you.
I love that place, the galleries.
Oh, it's fantastic. Another good place I investigated with John. Many things happened there, but mate, I could probably talk for hours about this place. So let's go. Stuff that we've done. So I've got a few shout outs, if that's okay, mate.
Yeah, of course it is.
Big shout out, obviously, to Enigma Experiment and John. Shout out to East Drive Paranormal. A big shout out to Paranormal Activities with Stephen Walker. A big shout out to Stephen Griffiths at Swaddling Coat Paranormal. A big shout out to ISOS, In Search of Spirit. A massive shout out to EAPI. And another big shout out to True Paranormal Events. So, yeah, thank you for having us on board there. Looking forward to working with you. And yeah. A massive shout out to Sarah Colfard-Kane as well. She is we've got really close, and she's one of those people who, how can you put it, when you bond with them, that they keep you. You know what I mean? Good. Her and Carl, I love them two to bits now, to be honest.
It's nice in this field to actually make good friends and lifelong friends. It's the same with ourselves and Vivian Powell and Andy Powell on the Raps team.
Oh,
We've worked with them for years now and get on like family. It's brilliant.
I've loved Viv from the first time I met her at the galleries, and you're right, great. It's Raps the team, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Big shout out to those as well. Also, a big shout out to a brand called, is it Unbroken?
Yes, that's my son's new T-shirt brand.
Hey, Sean with his brands going, mate. Hey, that's great, that.
Yeah, it'll all be up, and we're just putting some designs out at the minute, and he'll be going into actually doing the printing and everything hopefully the next month or so.
Absolutely awesome. I believe your magazine's coming back out as well. Are you doing some work?
It is, yeah. Beyond Parazine's back out again at the end of this month. We weren't going to... I was going to leave it, to be honest. I thought, I won't bother. Then I checked the website out, and I had over 215,000 views. I thought, I better start putting that back out again, really.
Say, mate, I'd say. So, well, you've got a reader here anyway, mate. No problem at all.
Brilliant. So, like I say, it's been absolutely fantastic chatting with you, Mike. And
thank you.
I think we'll definitely have you on again at some point.
Be fantastic. Many a tale to tell, and great to talk to you.
Yes, definitely. Thank all the listeners for, obviously, it's my first show, so I think we've done all right. It's been flowed quite well.
Bloody brilliant.
We forgot the break though, mate.
Thanks to
never mind.
The production staff as well, isn't it? Is it Kerry?
Yes, Kerry have done a brilliant job.
Big thank you.
And I think, as most people on here know as well, I'm also co-director and owner of Paraforce UK. We've got our third event coming up this year at the end of September, the 29th and 30th. So if anybody's looking for any information on that, just pop yourselves along to www.paraforceuk.com, and all the information's on there for our guest speakers and everybody else.
I look forward to seeing you there this year, my mate.
Definitely. Sarah's just put, well done, guys. Really good interview. Michael will be a good speaker at Paraforce. There you go. I have to get you on the list for 2019, mate.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's not count us chickens before the action.
No, I agree. I think it'd be a good one.
Oh, God.
So, again, anybody that's listening, if you just keep refreshing after we've finished in the next couple of minutes, and then it'll be Haunted Histories, which sounds like a fantastic show with Penny. I want to thank every single one of you that's listened tonight. Sorry if I ain't got around to saying hello to you all as your messages have been coming up. I think we've just been a bit busy waffling away.
Oh, it's been good.
Definitely. It's all right. Kaz has put, good show. Thanks, guys. Kerry and I forget breaks every week. Well, so that's all right. We're not going to be in trouble.
Paranormal community. Another good lass, Kaz Rooney. She's a great...
Yeah. It is. The paranormal community is a fantastic place, and it's about time everybody, like we say, chilled out, started getting on, working together, and not trying to put everybody down.
I can't say anything else that'll exceed that, Sean. So I'm going to keep my gob shut now and say good night, God bless, and thank you. We'll leave it at that. What you've just said.
That sounds good to me. Yeah, Paul breaks. What are they? Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean, absolutely brilliant. Loved it. Thank you all for listening. Hopefully see you all again, or I'll hear you and speak to you all again next week. I'm not going to tell you who've got on next week. I've got a few surprises lined up, just sorting out some dates. I can give you a couple of names. I'll throw a couple of names in there. Susan Slaughter will be coming on at some point from Ghost Hunters International. And also I've got Kindred Spirits. They'll be coming on as well, Adam and Amy. So some good interviews coming up over the next few weeks. Just got to sort out some dates for those, and then we can get the posts out and get them shared. So there we are. Thank you very much for tuning in and listening to me and Mike waffle away. Hope you've enjoyed it, and see you all soon. Thank you very much. Over to Kerry.
Thank you for listening. Don't forget to join us for more shows throughout the week. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and the World Wide Web to keep up to date with all the shows right here on Parasearch Radio.